welcome, and thank you for being here. For 47 years, the parish community of St. Edward the Confessor has worked very hard to make Christ's community a living presence here in Clifton Park. For 10 years, both as an associate and now as your pastor, I have had the pleasure of ministering with you as we tried to make that presence of Christ alive and active, not only here in our parish community, but in the larger community of the Capital Region. I would invite you for a few moments to sit back, to relax, and to open your hearts. I would pray that you would listen to the stories of a few of our sisters and brothers in our community, those whom you have impacted in some of the most difficult moments of their lives and in some of the most joyful moments. In addition, I would like you to hear what your participation in this community has meant as they have gone out to minister to many of our sisters and brothers in our local community. Again, I thank you for being here. Please open your hearts.
I don't believe that we're meant to worship alone. I believe that we're meant to be part of a community. I think we're meant to strengthen each other's faith, to just be there for each other.
I know this community here just encourages that faith, the strength that you have, and without it, I don't think I could survive.
I've been a member of St. Edward's for approximately 4.5 years. I'm treated as though I've been here forever, and I think that's one of the things that pulled me in.
Well, I think St. Edward's, it's like a family. Like, all the people are very welcoming and supportive. You feel like part of the church.
Rit was ordained in May this year, and the bishop appointed him here as deacon.
When we got our assignment, we were pretty nervous, but we immediately felt welcome. People didn't even know who we are, and they greeted us with open arms. And then after Mass, no one left. Out in the gathering area, pretty much the whole assembly was still here, talking and greeting one another, and we were sold that first Mass.
It's not just, like seniors or, you've got young families, lots of them. And it's so good to see that, that's something you miss in so many communities today. But the young families interacting with the families that have been here for 10 or 15 years and the ones that have been here for 40 years and longer. It's so natural to everybody.
We're there for one another when someone has a sick person in their family. We watch for folks when they're not here. And believe me, I know that from my own experience. I guess I didn't mention that I was going to Syracuse for the weekend. I came home and I had voicemails. Are you all right? Were you fine? We do this with everybody.
My wife was laid up for quite a while, and I was working a job that kept me out of town quite a lot. And parishioners of St. Edward's came and sat with her and brought meals to the house. I was so grateful. I was in tears. I was saying, geez, you guys have really demonstrated the love that Christians are supposed to have.
My father and my mother have always been very religious. They unfortunately went through a divorce, and it was a hard time for all of us. And this community was still here for me and my sisters. I know that the church was here for my mom too, and I saw her get through one of the most difficult times in her life by coming to church.
Our kids kind of left. They didn't go to church, and so our youngest daughter, she's got the 2 grandkids, and they love coming here. And Father Pat, he relates to them. And it's just really special to see that they've come back because of the community and because of, what they're hearing here.
I think of a faith community being like a light, and how that light can then grow and amplify to really illuminate a community. Not by virtue of people coming to worship, although that's important. That is what keeps the flame alive. What the faith community does in the community, it becomes a beacon of hope and outreach.
I like the idea of a church provides the nucleus for things to evolve and grow and touch others.
I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. And I was in prison and you came to me. All of those programs we have at St. Edward's.
We have one of the largest food donations I've ever experienced at a parish here on a weekly basis. That food isn't just brought. Other people, and often the same people, are cooking that food and bringing it to soup kitchens. There's hospital ministry, there's prison ministry. The outreach to so many people, whether they are parishioners or here or not, is just extraordinary. And I think that is the value and the virtue of a community of faith like St. Edward the Confessor.
Jesus is alive! Jesus is alive! Shout, shout, give our hearts wide! Jesus is alive today!
We have 4,000 families in this church. Our youth are so important. They will be the leaders. They will hold it together. And we don't have the space for them to get together and have this faith sharing right now.
Normally at lunch it's a little crowded. Like a little crowded.
Yeah. The hallways are very tight, trying to get in and out. There's so many families trying to get into faith formation area and then trying to get out that, you know, there's constantly a lot of bumping.
When faith formation is going on here, there isn't room for anything else. If we're going to continue to grow as a community, there has to be room for other ministries to be able to meet.
Just tonight, as we're talking here, there was a Girl Scouts meeting out here. There was cantors practicing over here. There's an adult faith formation course going on here. We're so crowded, we're shoulder to shoulder as we try to do things in the evening or some afternoons.
Also, I think it's important to have a beautiful worship space where we can fit all the people who want to come to worship. You know, we say all are welcome. Well, we have to have room.
They call this the cave back over here because it goes on forever and ever.
You feel like kind of not a part of the Mass, like you're back in a section where there's not much of the regular, like the pretty pews and stuff.
You can't hear it, you know, it's kind of dark, sometimes it's hard to hear the music.
But it's filled. It's filled, and just at a Sunday liturgy.
I think we're blessed that there is such a need for the increase in a larger worship space and training areas and teaching areas. So many churches are not increasing in community. This one is.
The hope is that everyone who comes here brings their gifts here, and those gifts of time, talent, and treasure will help the church to live on, always the presence of Christ in Clifton Park. And everyone's participation is really what will make this happen.
The future is beyond promising. It's incredible what lies ahead.